What is up, guys? This is Linthio coming at you a discussion today about two cards, but mainly on the one, which is Odd-Eyes Gravity Dragon. Now, Odd-Eyes Gravity Dragon is a pretty interesting card, and the card that backs it up is Odd-Eyes Advent, which is the ritual spell. Now, first we'll talk about the ritual spell. So, Odd-Eyes Advent is a ritual spell card, and the effect reads as follows. This card can be used as a ritual summon for any dragon-type ritual monster from your hand or graveyard. You must also tribute pendulum summons from your hand or field and/or if your opponent controls 2 or more monsters and you control no monsters, send Odd-Eyes monsters from your extra deck to the graveyard whose levels are equal to the level of the ritual monster or more. You can only activate one Odd-Eyes Advent once per turn. And then the actual ritual monster, which is Odd-Eyes Gravity Dragon, as I said, is a level 7 Dragon Ritual Earth with 2,800 attack and 2,500 defense, and its effect reads as follows. You can ritual summon this card using Odd-Eyes Advent. When this card is special summoned, you can return all spell and trap cards your opponent controls to the hand. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. You can only use the effect of Odd-Eyes Gravity once per turn, and then finally, your opponent must pay 500 life points to activate cards or effects. So that's a lot of information. So first off, we'll just go to the ritual spell, then we'll go to Gravity itself. So you can use it to ritual summon any dragon type ritual monster from your hand or graveyard. That's also really important because it can be used with other ritual cards, and well, specifically dragons obviously, but still nevertheless, so the Odd-Eyes archetype can really use them, even though I'm pretty sure there's only one ritual version, but I digress. Being able to also pitch from the extra deck if your opponent has 2 or more monsters on the field is actually really good because it means it becomes an even better top deckable card, but nevertheless, it's pretty interesting as well because the also graveyard aspect of it, that you can ritual summon any dragon type ritual monster from your hand or graveyard, so that's pretty good. I like the way this clause is coming in on kind of all of the ritual cards now, that you can special summon them from the graveyard as well, because it means there's more flexibility and you're not going complete neg because you have to have everything in hand. So the card's really solid in my opinion. The ritual spell is really good, and that's kind of one of the first hurdles that rituals have, because if you don't have a good ritual spell, then it's kind of a little bit difficult because you need that extra plussing on the spell, otherwise it's going to be very difficult to actually make it worthy and notable in the meta. But then looking at Gravity Dragon, it's a pretty decent card. You can't activate any cards or effects in response to its first effect, which is a giant grenade for your opponent's side of the field. But then, if your opponent wants to activate a card or an effect, they have to pay 500 life points first to do so. That is pretty huge in my opinion. That's a really big control aspect of this card. And while you might say, well, they can just pay 500 life points to activate that Dark Wall or Raigeki in hand. Well, yes, that is true, but that is also best case scenario. If you don't have access to those cards in your hand or on your field, then it's going to be kind of difficult to get over it. You're going to have to really build up effects and really build up monsters on your side of the field to get over this, and 2-8 is pretty difficult to get over still. If you're in Shadows, playing Shadows for example, you have to activate a couple of card effects to be able to actually get over this. Then you just have probably a Construct, which is best case scenario. Odd-Eyes Gravity Dragon is a really interesting card. Do I think it's going to see play? I actually think it might, because the actual Odd-Eyes archetype is getting a lot of support, and it's going to be used in different pendulum decks, and there are different things like that they're going to be using it in. The Magician deck can use this and also the other two, and I think that it's just a really interesting card nonetheless. It's a really powerful card as well, and it's not really that difficult to get out, if I'm completely honest, with the flexibility of the ritual spell. So I want to know what you guys think of Odd-Eyes Gravity Dragon. Do you think it is a really good card, or do you think there's just a little bit too much stretching with the ritual spells and the ritual monsters, and there's just no real point to invest any time into it? So as I said, let me know down in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe, and I should catch you guys later.